so you can start.
All right, so you can open up that document again. All right, so if you start at this document here, um, on my side, we'll be creating the various landing pages, so you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
All you're doing is creating the HTML form that will embed in the landing pages. And so each of the forms, and just scroll down a little bit here for me.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the forms will, yes, that's good. Each of the form will be like this. So the first part of the form will be like this. The uh, collecting general information, as you can see here.
Mm-hmm.
The second part of the form, if you scroll down some more,
Mm-hmm.
um, will vary. As you can see, these questions will be directed towards a master agent.
Mm-hmm.
On the sales rep form, it will have slightly different questions. On the sales manager form, the questions will be slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So as they come in from each form, it will be. So the bottom line is, uh, right now, as I bring on new or additional sales rep managers, it's really a slow and a lot of paper being faxed or scanned and sent back and forth. It's not an automated system, so it really takes a long time for me, my assistant, to onboard people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to automate that process. So this is what we're trying to do. So we're going to have them go to the page, the landing page that is specific to the role that they're looking for. The first thing that they will do when they get to this page is see some information, click to complete this form, and then this is, once they click this form and submit, this is when it takes them now into the automation process. So they'll complete the and electronically e-signature. If you scroll down some more, so page one will be this form. This is where you'll start because we'll design the page. So page one will be this form. They'll submit the form, and this will be a sample of the form. It'll be a dynamic form, and for us, a dynamic form is, it'll take the name, address. Once you complete that, it'll take you to the additional questions, and so as you move forward, it'll do next until you reach the submit button. So it won't present all of the questions up front. It will also depends on if you say yes or no to a question, like for example, the sales manager. Have you managed a team before? If you say no, it'll just take you to the next question. If you say yes, it'll take you to some questions that ask, tell us more about the type of team you've managed before. And so that's what a dynamic questioning form is. It's not just a form where you see everything. You'll see the next question based on, or the next three or four questions based on, what you're asked and what is answered. Any questions so far for me, or is there something that I need to sort of clarify?
Just I need to make sure that you are talking about dynamic forms, that you will do it using the form.io, right?
Yes.
We will.
Form.io, you also mentioned the backend. Form.io also will generate the backend information that we'll need, the backend analytics that we'll need. And so I don't worry about that. That's why we need to use Form.io.
Mhm.
Or if you find something else that can generate the backend info, then I'm open to anything that will create a seamless and easy automation process for us to take, the prospects or applicants through. So Form.io should be able to generate and we just have to create the front end. That's one of the benefits of the Form IO.
Agreed. It's already one of the best out there. I'm sure it will fit. I'm just making sure that you are the one who actually will do these forms and side form.io. That's why I'm asking, about. So, okay, fine. I think now it's like very clear for me. And uh, okay, just one more question. You already said that we have a landing page first. First thing first, you have a landing page where you, as a person who want to work in your company, should, I think he should like choose his position, and he will see some information, and then start the form, trigger the form
Well,
to
the
attend.
landing page, there are several landing pages. It won't be someone who's a sales rep will only see the sales landing page. It won't be a landing page where you can select from the different position. No. Once we talk to a sales person, they will be sent to a specific page
Mm,
where they'll get some additional information. So there'll be several pages.
mm-hmm,
Um, and that's why we keep that on this end. We don't, we don't need you to design and deal with that. You will start just as the submission form.
mm-hmm,
So we'll embed that into the various landing pages, and the form will have different questions on it specific to that type of landing page. So a master agent will not go to the same page as a sales rep. We just decided to separate them all because right now what we've done, let's say, because some of our reps do have people they know. They say, "Hey, Ken, I know this guy that's been selling for 15 years. I think he would be great addition to us." I'll say, "Great, I'd like to speak to him." Then I'm emailing him an NDA. I am trying to find a time to set up to speak to him. We're setting up a web meeting. All of that takes away from my time.
mm-hmm.
My assistant does the same. I don't need to talk to folks just to get a feeler from them. If you're interested, you should be able to get all the information and move through the process. And then sales manager will assign, because right now, only after I've completely signed up someone, I'll assign them to a sales manager.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really tedious the way I do it now, and I want to automate the entire process. I want the system to sort of do a selection all the way through. If you scroll down
Mm-hmm.
through the round robin
Yes,
system
like
of selecting,
like in the
um,
end, I think. Yes, here it is.
yeah, so the round robin system, the system will automatically, so let's say we have one manager, then all of the sales rep, let's say coming in, will just go to that manager. Let's say you have two manager, the system will select manager A, then manager B, then manager A, then manager B, so they get equal amount of reps assigned. Let's say there's 10 managers, then it would go to manager one, then two, then three, then four, then five, and then start at one again and go down the line to 10. So it would do a round robin, so everyone gets the next person that's signed on. So it keeps it even. And right now I manually do that, and I just want to automate that process. If someone is saying that, I'm not sure, I want more information, I shouldn't be involved in that. The system will automatically at some point assign them to a manager, inform that manager, they will set up a meeting and speak to them directly and continue to bring them on. And that's where I'd like to get to right now. Just sort of automate that process and exclude myself from having to be involved in the entire process right now.
Okay, perfect. Let's see if we click back. So we stopped here, I think. And
Well, you can go all the way to the back end if you have questions. Yeah, you can go all the way back here. Um, if you want to continue, then I'll continue down the line and sort of explain what each one is supposed to do.
I think you can start from here. uh,
Okay.
about the signing
All
thing
right.
and
So right. So now they've finished. They submitted the form. The system will automatically take them to the NDA page. So this NDA page will have them do the e-signature, and it will give them three options: sign, or request more information. So if they refuse to sign, it explains the process of what happens. We'll explain to them that, this is not a commitment or anything. The NDA is required so we can share proprietary information with you, and all of that. So the page will sort of explain all of that. And of course, we have to set up an option for someone who still may refuse to sign. It's not that anyone may refuse to sign, but the option needs to be there.
mhm.
And if they refuse to sign, then we can certainly give them the option of sort of speaking to someone. But if they do sign the NDA, then it will take them to a presentation page. Um, so this is if they refuse to sign, but if they do sign, if they refuse to sign, of course, there's a different process they go through. Once they sign, or as I say here, after signing the NDA, they go to a page where they'll get more proprietary information. There's a video that we'll put there that they can get a video presentation, and also stuff that they can read. So this is the next step after signing the NDA. Then they'll have three options once they're through watching the video and reading the information there. They'll have three options of either three buttons will say join the team, ask for more information, or they're not interested. That
Uh,
means wouldn't move. Go ahead.
just one question, sorry to interrupt you, about the video presentation and information. So, where does this information come from, and where should it be stored or presented? Where?
Okay, so the video will come from me. So all you'll do is just put the video on the page, and you'll create the page where they'll go, and then you'll give me or my assistant the option of going in and changing the information. So we'll need access to be able to sort of add, remove, update information on this page,
I see.
depending on what we want.
I think we can make use like CMS, like WordPress or something like that, so you can
Exactly.
actually try to change information. As long as you want. You want. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Right. So at the end of the video presentation, they'll have three options. If they join the team, if they say join the team, it will take them to a page where they'll have a contract. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but all of the sales rep that I have now has a contract that explains the revenue share that we do with them. There's other financial benefits that they get from us. There's money that they get to support their marketing. There's various things. There's a contract that explains all of that. They would e-sign the contract or download it, show it to their lawyer, whatever they wish to do, and then they can e-sign it. Wherever they stop, though, they'll be able to come back in and continue. So we give them that freedom of not force, because it's an e-signature. You have to sign it right then and there. You can also download it and review, and then come back and sign if you so wish. And they would be able to set up their username, password to get back to the page. And once they sign this information, then they would be taken to the training module because we want to make sure they have an understanding of what we're presenting. So on the training module, whatever we're going to have them sell, then that's what would be presented. On the back end now, I want to have several products, and then they would get permission. We would put permission of what product they will be able to see, and they will be able to sell. For instance, you and I had discussed your software as one option. Big Droid will be one option. So we'll have various things that sales rep can sell, managers can manage, but I as an administrator would be able to let them see or not see that product depending on which product I want them to sell, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So they would just see what they're selling, but I also want to give them some training on that without me having to get on the phone and spend time training, or a manager have to get on the phone and spend time training. As you know, training can be automated these days, and they can go it over and over again without having someone there, and that takes up a lot of our time. So we want to sort of create a training module for them.
Again, I think these training information, sales information, all of these are supposed to be like pages or something that they can just review, pages
Right.
and videos, stuff like that. Again,
Well,
they can,
these, yeah, on the training there may be video, but on the sales info there may not be, just sort of a sales process info or a target market info. So yeah, it just will be written. So the CMS would be good because I may need to update depending on what we're dealing with. So yes, that would be sort of informational pages.
I see.
Informational pages also that will have questions at the end of them, in the training module, that is, that will sort of go through to make sure they have a clear understanding of what is required, what the product is, how to best sell that product, how to best present the product, and information like that. So we want to share our experience with them and to make sure they understand what it is we're sharing. So we'll have questionnaires.
Can you just explain this?
The contact info for the assignment. Okay, so that's the round robin. The system should automatically assign a sales rep to a manager, and it's going to show them that you've been assigned to this manager. This is the person that you will report to, and also an email notification will be sent to the manager that you have a new team member. You may want to reach out and say hello, and then the applicant is sent to their account setup and training page. So they're going to be assigned a manager first, and then they'll go through a process of setting up an account and getting the training that is needed. And that's where the round robin comes in. So I was just explaining that here. Want the system automatically assign sales rep. So it's the same thing. If I get a master agent to register, sales managers will be automatically assigned to them. If I get a sales manager to register, sales rep will be assigned to them. If I get a sales rep to register, resellers will be assigned to them. They can also assign all of these to themselves. So if they go out and interview someone and they decide to bring that person onto their team, they can also just register that person to their team.
Okay, so you are assuming that they have like a portal or something, they can actually log in and see the candidates or the applicants and choose who should be in their team. That's what
No,
you're saying?
the system will automatically assign. They can't see the candidate until the system automatically assign that person to them. So they won't be able to see the person until after they've been assigned to their account. So a manager will be notified that a new sales rep have just signed up, he's assigned to you. Remember, the system is going to pick, let's say there's 10 managers, the round robin system, and I can send you more information on how the round robin system works, but it's automatically going down the line and selecting. And also, you may want to do a meeting with Form IO to explain the round robin system, sort of walk you through how that best would work. But the system is selecting, the computer is selecting, the person, or I said the platform, I should say, is selecting the person as they come in through the automation flow. So it's assigning to each manager, but each manager don't see that salesperson until they've been assigned. Once they've been assigned, then yes, on their account they can see that the new rep have been assigned to them. They can see all of their reps. Um, they can see everyone that is currently assigned to them. Sure. Uh,
Um, okay, so sorry again. My question wasn't how they how they are, seeing the applicant, which applicant. I mean, there has to be a portal for each manager or sales representative, etc., where they actually can see these applicants. That's what I mean. I mean, I think Form.io does not, do that. I think we have to make portal for us, like, because it's like should be a database where we, always download from Form.io inside this database, and so we can actually make lots of the process about this database, and actually make a portal where sales representatives or managers, etc., can actually see the applicants from our database. No?
okay. Well, I'm not sure what Form IO, if they can see that or not. So, yes, if you see that's the way it needs to work, then absolutely. But they will need to see, you're correct, who they've been assigned to and their team. Absolutely, they need to see who those team members are. So, you may need to do that exactly.
Yes, because my understanding for Form.io is like only capturing data and
Okay.
store it. It does not make any kind of data relation
Oh,
and stuff like that. I think that should be all done, or hierarchy, for example, something like that. I think
okay.
all things should be done in our database, and we should make a portal for actually control what these managers see and how things are working. So I think that
Okay.
should be done in our own database. We are all the time downloading the information coming from the um, Form.io and store it in the way that we can actually control how this information presented to different tools inside the system. No?
Wonderful. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. That's good.
Okay, this is now settled.
Yeah, so this will be the key information we'll need from them for their account setup. And then after the account setup, it will take them directly to the training module. And then they'll be inside of the training module. And this is where they'll do all of their training. And again, I'll need access to go in and to make sure that now the link there that you see, we could use that, or just as an idea, if you feel that we could customize something better, then that's fine, or easier, that's fine. I'm flexible there. If you feel that this will help to speed up the process of putting a training module together, this is just a recommendation. I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, I have one question about the training modules where we should, you know, um, give the applicant the way to watch a video and make this stuff like that. So my question is, um, say this is the training module where we should actually make the applicant work on it. So what we should do, we should send their information to this system and register them here in this system, and register which maybe manager they are assigned to, or I think it's not need for that. Anyway, we will register the applicant there, and the applicant should see the appropriate videos and take the appropriate test, and actually make this kind of success to where our script then will capture who's actually passed
Right.
the test and send them to the next step.
Right. Exactly.
That's how it
That would
works.
be. Yes. Exactly.
Mhm. So nothing else, just to send the applicant to the system where they actually find themselves already registered.
Right, exactly. And because the information is going to pass to this, we just want to get the training in. We don't want them to have to redo anything. We just want them to get to the information, the sales material, the marketing material, just to go through a process to give them the tools that they need to be prepared to go and see customers. And so the training is going to be very vital,
Mhm.
and we want to make sure that they have the understanding. I have noticed that the more time I spend or a sales manager spend with training people, the more success we get out of that individual. So we just want to make sure that they're getting as much information as possible to be successful.
Perfect. I'm just like trying to warming things up, so the basic information I need as a programmer here is to install that system in our servers and then auto register users and assigning them to the right uh, package of training and test. And after that, if they do test, we will make like a cron job that check who's passing the test and send them to the next step. Okay?
Fantastic. Yes, that's
Fantastic.
exactly what.
Perfect. Perfect. So another thing you were mentioning here, I will leave you to explain.
Um, Go back one page and let's see where we were. Maybe we didn't skip something, but I don't know. It seems like okay, so we didn't. Okay, you can go back down. I'm sorry. Then the third option, before we go into the booking calendar, let me just discover the third option, because there were three options.
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to be joining the team, wanting more information, or the third option would be not interested in joining. What we will do is we will archive this applicant. So if within 3 months they come back, it will be dated. And so within 3 months, if they come back to us, and we've had that,
Mm-hmm.
then we can sort of reactivate without starting a new through the NDA. After 3 months, then they would need to re-sign the NDA and go from the beginning all the way through. The system would sort of take them back to from the NDA page and take them through. If and this is not important. If you feel it's too much hassle to do this feature, then once they're not interested, we'll just hold on to their basic information, and if they come back in, we can just pick up that information after 3 months. So this, I'm flexible with you. However you wish to deal with someone that is not interested, I'm open to that. If you wish to do it exactly as I've said here, that's fine. If you wish to simplify it even more, that is not a problem for me. I am okay with that.
Um, I think it's not a big deal here. I think we can do it. But I will try first stick to the basics where we actually had the full flow working, and all kind of details like this one we can actually make it to the end. So it would depend on um, you know how the flow is working with
Right.
that. Anyway, you were about to talk about these two
Yeah.
systems here.
For the, when a manager, let's say a rep contacts a manager, or a reseller contacts a sales rep and want to sort of have a conversation with them. Let's say they say we just need additional information, so I want to talk before I really sign a contract or get involved with you guys. They may want to do a web meeting, so that option should be there if they need additional information to set up a web meeting, just to book a web meeting and to have a conversation with whomever, their um, whoever manager they've been assigned to. So this is this option if they need additional information before moving forward. We give them the option of having a web seminar. It still forces them though to sign the NDA first, because you can't have a web seminar before you sign the NDA. Even though you may not want to set up an account yet and sign the contract, you still have to do the NDA. And before they even get to this point, they would have signed the NDA anyway. So that's not really an issue. But if they do decide they want more information, then certainly we need to set up a webinar and speak to them. So this is what this is for. Again, we're giving them the three options: join, get additional information, or not interested. And so this is one of the three options that they would go through. If they choose this option, then they wouldn't go through all of the presentation, the sales training, and all of this. The only other step that they would go through is a webinar would be set up for them to speak to someone, and then that would be it. They would be able to go, once they do speak to someone, then again they would be able to jump back into the automation flow. You know, one of the things that would happen here, the minute you say you need additional information, you would still need to set up a username, password, go to the webinar calendar, set up a time to speak to someone, and then you could exit at that point. So once you've spoken to someone, you can come back in and continue with your onboarding process if you're still interested.
Um, what actually made me think, because these are like external systems, and I'm not so sure how to actually automate the whole thing. Who should be the one actually, input what are the available times, and how, that's
Well,
something.
I'll tell you this: each manager will already be assigned their calendar, and they would have their times blocked off or open. So once someone goes onto a calendar, once they've been assigned to a manager, they'll go to that manager's calendar, and then they'll see the open times that are available for booking. The time that they can speak to someone. So they wouldn't be able to book time, and through this system. So it's like linking multiple systems together through the Form IO, making it look seamless, as if you're in one system going all the way through. So yes, certainly you may. I'll need to get you a server where you would set up this, and it would just be a flow all the way through. And even though it's on our server, not on Form IO, it wouldn't make a difference to the end user. They would just have a seamless flow all the way through. Um, and that's what Form IO does. It links various systems together to create one seamless flow. So
Um,
it should be a problem.
I understand the concept, but when we actually try to implement this, I think we need to, lots of details because these are different systems. I think they are uh, systems without APIs also. So we have to
Okay.
do things like understand
Well,
how it works and
Well,
follow
here's
the
the thing that
training.
I would recommend then. That is one of the reasons why I wanted you to take a complete look through. Let's say you come up with an alternative. Hey, Ken, I'll just create a form requesting a booking of an appointment. They would submit that form and then the manager would get a hold of them. So we still can automate that. So if you feel that something would work best, um, in place of this, then I'm open to that. My goal isn't, I'm not married to any of these systems. My goal is to automate the process as much as possible, so we don't do as much manual. While we're having people kicking the tires.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
we want to automate so we don't take as much time with them while they look around. So that's the idea for me, and I'm open to anything that you feel can. This would work best by automating this process. You don't have to use this, or here's what I think could be similar to getting them an appointment with a manager.
Yeah, because sometimes these systems are uh, hard to maintain, hard to work with, and actually works in different kind of environments. Lots of hassle about connecting different systems, especially when they are not having an APIs. They are like
Right.
legacy systems like this one. So that's why I'm asking if we have like a flexible way, if we actually
Right.
don't need to use these, or even do. Sometimes when you do things yourself, it would be even easier, sort of, than doing things that are already done with lots of hassle. That's why I'm asking. Anyway, the main and basic idea here is to make applicant have a way to schedule a meeting with one of the managers. That's the main
Correct.
idea.
That's the main idea. Once we can achieve that idea, however you feel that Canvas would work best, this is more possible. I am very flexible with that. So yes, I'm very open to that. I have about 5 more minutes with you, and I have to run to another meeting, so we're running out of time. Um,
Okay. The last thing is about the CRM. That's I think.
yes. Yes, so the CRM is going to be important now. This is going to be your biggest pain because I do need you to load the CRM onto a server. And once everyone is done going through this system, they're going to just be landed at the login page of the CRM. And then we send them an email with, this link and login to the CRM. And then going forward, they'll just work with the CRM. So I do need the CRM to do some customization with name and look and feel, and then there's not much more that needs to be done in customization except load it onto a server and make sure we have a CRM that is working properly for all managers, reps, and everyone else. And I think you have team that can be assigned within OpenCRX. So that's it. I will need this CRM though, load up and set up and ready to go.
Okay, I will. Actually, I haven't look about this one. I will try to see how it works, what is the language, stuff like that.
So yeah, take a look at that. I think it has a team feature, which is one of the things I don't have now. And everyone is using their own sort of CRM, and it doesn't help me a lot for us to sort of send information to folks and manage activities. So I need to sort of coalesce everything into one place. As we're growing, we need to manage these things better. So I need to get this CRM up and running.
Okay, perfect. I'll try to look about how we actually can benefit from this one, how it works, what is the language, and all kind of technical details. Okay, I'll let you go now. I think you really have been so helpful. I will take some time going through all details, and again, if I have a question, I will get back to you. I will try to make fully understanding and a complete flow and charts. Everything is needed, so we actually in doing the right system we want to do.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, thanks for taking the time today. And I know you can do it. We'll get it done.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate your trust, and I hopefully I will make it in the time.
And remember, I'm always flexible. Whatever changes you need to make, just so the automation flow can work. I am very flexible. At the end of the day, I just need an automation flow.
Okay, mate. I will try to make the best kind of choices that actually fulfill your view and see how things would work.
Fantastic.
Okay, last thing before you leave, don't forget actually to tell us what to do with this templates because you didn't make the interfaces that we want. Okay, this is like fancy and nice interfaces, but I don't actually know what to do with them.
I'll tell you, we'll have to do another meeting because I'm so running out of time right now. I do have to get going, but quickly for the Big Droid, we're sort of inputting all that information into these various, and we can discuss where each thing will go. It'll be a little different, but I'll have to input. We're going to use the various boxes to sort of fill in all the information that is currently needed for the Big Droid. So for me, I'm flexible to wherever the information goes. We would just change the names and input whatever information needs to go there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I will try to make you know um,
So, instead of buying tokens, it could be downloads, and then, you click on that, and then you can deal with your downloads. Instead of ICO distribution, it could be current downloads, and, just changing the names and using the look and feel to customize our information that were needed inside of all of that. Transactions could be the same. If they need new downloads, then they can click on transaction and go to the new to get additional downloads, purchase additional downloads. So it's just really taking everything we have and putting them anywhere here to make it look and feel just the same like what we have.
okay. Kinda understand what should I do, but maybe later we can have another meeting with more
Yeah,
details
we can have
about
another meeting
the
for this.
representatives because for the user already understand what should we do, but for the other kind of rules, I'm still don't get what should we do there.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
we can discuss this tomorrow or the day after. I
yeah,
do have to get running now. These folks are waiting on me, and it's my last meeting of the day, so I want to just run through this next meeting. But I'm glad I did get some time to speak with you today.
thank you, mate. You already have made it, and I understand you are busy today. We will talk soon, and thank you again.
All right,
Speak
thank
soon.
you very much. All right, yeah, we can discuss this next time.
Thank you. Have a successful day. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye, you too.